There we go. You got it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to She Blurbs podcast. Today's guest is Victoria. Hi, Victoria.
Hi, how are you? It's nice
I'm
to meet
great.
you, Brooke.
You too. Thank you so much for being a guest today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I love the name of your podcast, She Blurbs. How'd you come up with that?
I have no clue. I was like, well, I talk a lot, so I guess it can be She Blurbs, and people was like, oh, okay.
It's very catchy. It's a very, very good title.
Thank you. So, can you tell our listeners what inspired you to write the Law of Attraction books?
Yes, absolutely. So, oh boy, there's so many, I have four books that are, based around the law of attraction. My first one, Practical Law of Attraction, I wrote back in, I want to say 2017, 2018. It's been a while now. And what inspired me to write that book, I've been a big student of the law of attraction forever. Pretty much, I would say the very first time I really came to know the word law of attraction was back in 1986 when I read this book about self-confidence, and he talked about the law of attraction and hypnosis and everything in there. And so fast forward to later on in my life, I really, really got inspired by taking some personal development classes called seminars. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you're familiar with, did you see the movie The Secret?
Yes.
Yeah, our dear mentor, Bob Proctor, passed away. And I met him at Principia, which was one of the highest levels that you go in the seminar that I took that really inspired me. And he was a huge, huge advocate of personal development and seminars. And so, so I really came to understand the law of attraction, back in like 98. And at that time, I, went on to develop my own company, hiptalk.com. I created all these amazing hypnotherapy recordings, and I became kind of renowned in my field. A lot of the hypnotists knew me. And then I always was a fan of law of attraction behind the scenes. I would always plant these words and suggestions into my hypnosis recordings that talked about law of attraction, just in a way that wasn't really in your face talking about it, because nobody even knew what it was, not very many people. But to me, the power of the subconscious mind and hypnosis and law of attraction were very intertwined for me. I just didn't really go into detail and talking to a lot of people about the vibration and energy and like attracts like, and all the things that I would plant in my hypnosis suggestions, and which made my hypnosis recordings, I think, far more powerful and effective, because it was just like hitting people on a much deeper level. And so there was something special about that. And so, fast forward to when like the movies came out, The Secret, and a lot of the books, and there was just a lot of what I felt were missing pieces that they didn't talk about. Like they didn't really talk as much about, like, they, like, literally, the sayings go, thoughts become things, right? So it leaves a lot to the imagination, where people think, well, they take that literally. After they've seen a movie like The Secret, they think like, oh, all I have to do is sit here and think really hard, and then a genie in the sky is going to grant my wish. And all of a sudden there's going to be a Mercedes Benz parked in my driveway without doing anything to get there. And that really annoyed me, that so many people, it wasn't the movie annoyed me, because I got how you've got to, you've got to make it entertaining and interesting and hold people's attention, for 90 minutes. But you're leaving a lot on the table because you just can't, get all of that information in there. And so
Mhm.
I just got very passionate about the fact that, there's a lot of people out there who totally misunderstood how the
Mhm.
law of attraction works. And they would, you know, they would talk about it like it was BS and just all of this stuff. And so I just really wanted people to understand, look, if you know what it really is and how
Mhm.
to actually apply it, you won't think it's BS because you know, there's nothing magical or mystical about it the way that it gets portrayed. It is very much that, thoughts do become things, but it
Mhm.
goes through a process, of thoughts become feelings, feelings become your vibration creates you getting into action. You have to take action,
Right.
and you take that action based on inspiration that you get from the super conscious, your subconscious.
Mhm.
And then as you take enough action, inspired action, consistently, persistently, you
Mhm.
will bring about, you cannot not manifest, but
Mhm.
manifest doesn't mean like waving a magic wand and your stuff comes.
Right.
Manifesting is just like, I'm going to create this. I'm going to create a
Mhm.
reality according to what I desire. And everybody has the ability to do that. So
Mhm.
that's what inspired the book. I just wanted everybody to know that.
That's true. Like exactly what you said is exactly what I was thinking. I was like, if I ignore my bills, then they'll go away. No, they won't. Like they won't. They'll still show up. I'm like, exactly how you explained it. It is exactly what I thought too. And I was like, this is not right. This is not making sense to me. And no. So I did say the same thing that it was BS. Like it's fake. Like I don't know. I don't know how other people felt about it, but that's how I felt about it. And then I created a vision board to see if that will work. That didn't work either. So I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, the vision boards work, but but they're not for just like, things coming to you. What they're there to inspire you and to help you to feel good. Like everything that we do, like all the affirmations that we do, all of the vision boards, all of the manifesting tools that are out there, all that is to cause you to feel, get, to raise your vibration, to get you, more into the belief. And the other thing too that I totally left out here is the belief. I mean, because you're not going to take action if you don't believe in your desire manifesting. And once you believe it, like when I say believe it, like I mean on a subconscious level, your your mind holds information back from you, believe it or not, like that. And that's the magic. Like that's the part that is magic because your mind is designed to make your life easier. So when I say it holds back information from you, it holds back information based on what you've programmed it to hold back from you. Now it's and intentionally or unintentionally. You may walk around with a certain belief, something maybe you picked up in childhood from your parents, from your teachers, from your classmates, people that tell you that money is the root of all evils, or they tell you that you have to work really hard. I mean, maybe you do really have to work hard, but maybe you don't have to work that hard. Maybe it's, so all of the beliefs that you pick up, what happens is it sets up a filter where you're basically kind of like your mind is so powerful that it screens out information. And that information that it's screening out could be information that would help you along your path to creating what you want. But because you have these filters in there that are set up to show you what you believe, it's just going to continue to reflect back to you whatever you believe. If you believe that you're always going to be broke, if you believe life is hard, if you believe you're always, you got to be sick, you believe whatever, your mind sets up filters that basically prove to you that you are right. It's just like Martin Luther King said, this quote, whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right.
Wow. I never even thought about it that way. And now I'm going to be sitting here thinking about it after this interview. But I wanted to go and talk about your books, like in depth about your books. So, what are
Sure.
some of the contents that are in your books that can successfully help others? Like, what are some of the things that you discuss in the books?
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to just dive into the practical law of attraction, or do you want to talk about the whole
All of
series I
them.
have? Like, okay. So,
Yeah.
so it's really starts with practical law of attraction. So how practical law of attraction helps people
Mhm.
to create success in their life is I have developed an basically it's the 8 conditions for manifesting. And what it does ultimately is it walks you through all of the like steps involved in taking you from something that you desire and getting you very clear on your desire, because I think that's where a lot of people that's where it starts. Like sometimes you don't even know exactly what you want. Like you want this, you want that, you want that, and you're like all over the place, which of course we all want a lot of things. Who doesn't want it all? Like we should be able to have it all.
Mhm.
But we can only really um effectively, productively focus on like one thing at a time. So I have in my approach, I have people really get dialed in on that one desire and then do all the work around that one desire, taking you through the condition number 2, which is getting your thinking to be in aligned with that desire, thinking about what you do want rather than what you don't want. Because so many times, like a lot of people will think that like if you don't want something hard enough,
Mhm.
like I don't want that to happen and I don't want that to happen, that you can just wish it away. And you can't. The more you think about like something you don't want, whether it's you say it from a want or a don't want standpoint, you're manifesting more of the same. And so then we get into the next part of it which is the imagination. And
Mhm.
Albert Einstein said, and I think he was a pretty smart guy. He said that imagination is everything. He said it's more important than knowledge. And so
Mhm.
when we imagine the things that we do want, but so many people misuse their imagination. So they imagine the worst. They imagine they're leaving, for work, and they imagine hitting every red light. And they imagine, they imagine getting pulled into their boss's office, and told that they're fired and blah, blah, and it's like and they're worrying and worrying and worrying. Well, the more you do that, and the more you do that with emotion, the more you're calling more of that into your reality. And because the mind is, that's setting up a filter, because it's the imagination is super powerful. So we go through imagination, then some trainings to help you overcome your limiting beliefs, and then we go into condition number 5, which is the vibration, and really helping you to clear any resistance that may be getting in the way of having a high vibration. A lot of people, they walk around with a lot of resentments and or a lot of fears that their desire isn't going to manifest, and that all impacts the vibration. Then we go into the uh, um, creative attraction. I don't know why, but for some reason that that one always like is a takes me a second to think. So creative, because it was sort of like my own term that I came up with, and I love it. So creative attraction is our connection to like the super conscious. And to explain what the super conscious is, it's like the same thing as what you tap into when like, that somebody, you just sense something. It's like your sixth sense, or that, you know, somebody, have you ever had the experience where somebody called you and it's like, oh my God, I was just thinking about you, right?
Yeah, that's
And
true.
yeah, and so that is like it's like the mind of everything. It's a universal mind where all the minds are connected. And, and I believe the way that works is that all the information is out there. We just need to
Mhm.
tap into it.
Yeah.
And so that's the creative attraction. And once you have that belief and you have the vibration, you're much more in tune with creative attraction and receiving intuitive guidance. And that's where those are the things that you need to act on. And so number 7 in that is about the inspired action versus
Mhm.
forced action. There's these things that we say, I have to do that. I have to go to
Right.
work. I should
Mhm.
do this. I have to do that. And all of those things are, maybe there's negative consequences if you don't do those things, but there's
Mhm.
nothing that we have to do.
Right.
That's a like first thing to understand. It's like there's nothing, everything is a choice.
Mhm.
And so we choose to act a little bit more on, in the inspiration that we receive. And when we act from our intuition, even though sometimes things don't make logical sense, when we act from that place, it's going to take us closer to the 8th condition, which is the manifestation. And
Mhm.
the manifestation is in and of itself a condition that has to be recognized, because listen, if we manifest things and we don't even acknowledge it or feel grateful for it or celebrate it, then what's the point?
Right. Right.
And so those are the 8 conditions that I talk about in law of attraction. And I mean, and that, you follow those, um, and there's tons of like exercises in the book.
Yeah.
I have like all these little worksheets that you can download off of a special, website.
Mhm.
And you go, and then I have like a challenge, a 21-day manifesting challenge that people can, go through, and a mastermind. So that book leads to a lot of other really cool things. And so that's my favorite book. Not to put any of my other books, um, but so my other books, this one's not showing in the background, but this is my next release. After that was Attract Good Luck. And Attracting Good Luck, it was released after Practical Law of Attraction, but it
Mhm.
was written long before that. And I just kind of had it sitting there, for a while. And so once I wrote once I had a major number 1 bestseller, I said, you know what, I can do the same with this one. So I cleaned it up, like after becoming a writer, there you learn a lot of things. And I cleaned that one up. And so Attracting Good Luck is all about all of, it's a lot of mental work. It's the
Mhm.
mental work that we need to do to, help us to clear a lot of baggage and beliefs and things that we've been carrying around that block us from understanding that luck is really when preparedness meets opportunity. And so it's a really about getting you mentally prepared, financially prepared, physically prepared, to receive, the luck that's already all around us that we just don't see because we've got these blinders on and these filters.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I do have a question for
Yeah.
you. So in your books, have you gotten any like positive feedback from your books? Like has it helped a lot of people, like getting them out of their same routine, and you know what I'm saying, like the negative stuff that's in their life, has it helped them get out of their routine and the negativeness?
Apps. Yes, absolutely. So I get tons of reviews on practical law of attraction. That's my I've had like the other books are just not as popular yet. So I've gotten a lot of really, really great feedback on all my books. But right now there's about, I want to say like 750 positive
Wow.
reviews on practical law of attraction on Amazon. And I mean, I get feedback on that all the time. I mean, people like literally it's overwhelming, to hear like people saying things like this really changed my life. So I mean, that's a common thing that people say about practical law of attraction is that it shifts your perspective, especially if I would say it's kind of at a little bit at a beginner level.
Mhm.
um like anybody can start, and so people who just have a mild interest in law of attraction that haven't had any training, I mean, they can get so much out of it. But also the very advanced, I mean, I've had fellow authors who have written other books read my book, that they're famous law of attraction authors have
Wow.
also read my book. And Bob Doyle, I don't know if Bob Doyle from The Secret, but he endorsed my book, and actually Joe Vitale endorsed my book, and you know, so I actually Jack Canfield has a copy of my book. These are all the like a lot of the famous secret teachers. And
Wow.
so it's really done some really great things for people. I mean, people have manifested, homes, cars, soulmates, everything, because now they understand the real secret and how to do it.
I'm definitely gonna get this because I need to get out of this apartment. So I'm gonna do it. So
Yeah.
I wanted. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely get it. And do the work, and because the people that get the most results out of it are, they read the book, and then they download the worksheets and they actually, do the work on themselves. And so it's like one of those, it can definitely, it's a transformational process. So I really encourage you to get it.
I definitely am. So I wanted to talk a little bit about your app. The hypno
Yeah.
is it is am I
Hypno Cloud.
So can you tell us how it can help others when they use it, like the contents of it and how it helps others?
Yes, absolutely. So HypnoCloud, like as I mentioned at the beginning of our session, my whole thing started as I started doing this, through hypnotherapy. So I started making hypnotherapy recordings back in like 98. And
Mhm.
then that slowly grew into, a huge library that I sold on my website of, hundreds and hundreds of different programs. So the way hypnotherapy works, just to give your audience an understanding, when you listen to these recordings, first of all, they take you down into the most beautiful, tranquil, relaxed state where you're just really feeling good. And
Mhm.
when you go into that, your brain waves slow down. And when your brain waves slow down to a state somewhere in between what you call alpha and theta, when you're in that state, your subconscious mind becomes open and receptive to hearing and receiving all of the suggestions that are in whereas normally, say that you were trying to make a change in your life, you wanted to become more organized, or you wanted to
Mhm.
exercise more, or you wanted to be motivated. Well, you can walk around and tell yourself, I am motivated. I love to exercise. And then you hear that little critical voice that says, no, you're not, right? And it just dismisses that information just immediately. And then the more you say those things to yourself, the more it's like you start to build a little bit of a distrust, and it seems like you're lying. And so what happens when you go into hypnosis is that little critical voice kind of gets put aside. And now you have access to the part of your mind that's running the show, your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind runs everything: your body, your eyes blinking, your heartbeat, your blood flowing, everything. And it also is in charge of all of your habits, all of your emotions, the way you see the world, your perceptions, your beliefs, all of that. And
Mhm.
so hypnosis, helps you to make those changes at a deep level and permanently, by getting that critical voice out of the way and putting you into, hypnosis, and helping you to make those changes. And so the app helps people because there's hundreds of different programs. I mean, pretty much any kind of change you can imagine is available in the app. From dealing with emotions that you might not like, to helping you to grow your business, to helping you to change your ideas about money. I mean, literally the app, I mean, the subscriptions cost like $10 a month, which is
Mm.
super
That's
cheap.
that's not bad at all.
It's super cheap. But then for those people who say, oh, I don't have $10 a month. Well, guess what? You listen to the, abundance program for a month, and magically and I don't mean magically, but, I mean, if you want to change your beliefs about money and what you're able to do for yourself, the app is a wonderful way to do that. So the app actually pays for itself in a way by helping you to manifest abundance.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
let's see. I'm definitely trying to change my life. I feel like this will help a lot of my listeners out, the ones that are struggling with what I'm struggling with. So I feel like
Yeah.
it'll help.
What is
So
what kind of listeners do you normally, attract to your show?
usually it's the younger crowd, maybe around like 17 to
Uh-huh.
35 maybe. And then a lot of the older people listen to it too, like the ones in their 60s. I'm like, wow, you listen to my podcast? But yeah, they
Nice.
do.
Nice.
But yeah, I usually attract like usually younger people. That's my target audience, I guess. I don't know, but I usually have older listeners too. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, great. Great. Well, yeah. So HypnoCloud, there's over 500 hypnosis sessions to choose from, and a lot of it is I've crammed a whole bunch of law of attraction manifesting type of programs because and entrepreneurial, and helping people to deal with their emotions and all kinds of things. I mean, it's like it's like it is it's another thing where people who review the app and I get tons of great reviews on it. They say
Wow.
it's life changing.
That, so does your app coincide with your courses? Because I read on your on your website that you have courses as well. So does it coincide with that?
I
Or
do have courses eventually, because I just got a new developer and I'm really, really excited about the possibilities with this new developer that eventually I think will be able to integrate the whole world of everything that I do into the app, because right now it's like, yeah, I've got these products over here and I've got these courses over here and I've got these books over here. And so everything's kind of in separate places and separate accounts. And so, yes, the courses are something I offer, but not through the app. Like that's on Personal Growth Club. So I've got the Personal Growth Club where I do offer about 20 different personal development courses.
wow.
Yeah,
That's a
my
lot.
very first course that I developed, talk about taking it on. Everything I do, I take on a pretty big way. So my personal growth course, it's like it's an MBA program in personal growth. I'm not kidding you. I mean, it's not like really, but I mean, it's 60 video training modules, and
Ooh.
each of those modules, and you actually can get access to that now for like $33 a month through my manifesting mastermind. So I'm like making all like my top 10 courses available in my manifesting mastermind for $33 a month. And after you've graduated from the manifesting challenge, which is just a one-time $37.
Mhm.
You can be part of the mastermind. And the mastermind, we meet once a month and we, work, with everybody live on Zoom. And then they get access to all that content, new manifesting technique, new meditation every month. Yeah, it's crazy.
I
It's
like this.
crazy the amount of content that you get in that manifesting mastermind.
Ooh, I like this. I like this. And it's reasonable price. Like it's not like some of the people I've spoken to where their stuff is like $5,000 and $6,000. I'm like, I can't afford $6,000. Like, but I
Especially,
like
yeah, if you're trying to manifest things, I mean, you got to start, so I like to give everybody access, and there's so many different levels of access to me. I mean, we do these free podcasts, so that's a level of access. I have hundreds of free YouTube videos where I give people all kinds of, free meditations and information. So that's access. You can get the book for like, whatever, 10 or $20 on Amazon, depending on whether there's a sale going on. I give people, I mean, extremely low cost access to my app, $10 a month. So yeah, it's like, I don't, like my one-on-one sessions, my custom things that require like more personal attention. There's a ladder. And so that, that costs more, but I mean, you can, if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you're a self-helper, I just always wanted to, because I'm kind of that way. And I always liked to have lots of access to things myself. I wanted to be that empire, that personal development empire for other people, and provide, as much as I possibly can for very reasonable price.
that's nice. That's nice. So I did read on your website that you also have a podcast. Is that a podcast that you have, or is it a podcast that you're on? Like, do you go on other people's podcasts? Is that what that is?
So that's my podcast. Yeah,
Wow.
I've recorded now 195 episodes of
Wow.
the Power of Your Mind podcast. And, for I would say the first 20 or so episodes, it was just me. Then I
Mhm.
started to have guests on my show for the last couple of years, and I've had lots of great guests on my show, and they've contributed a huge ton of information. And then I've decided that I'm taking my show back to just me again. And, that's just going to be another place where, basically it's just a longer version of what I offer on YouTube. Cause like YouTube, usually have like a 10-minute, meditation or a 10-minute type, explaining a technique or how something works. And then I'm going to be going into longer versions of, helping people to really understand, how affirmations work, how meditation works, and various different tools and techniques that they can apply and use in their life. So that's the power of your mind.
Wow, I love this interview. I'm learning so much. I am.
Well, I am too. I love explaining all of this. So thank you for asking. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being a guest today. Is there anything else you want to share with my listeners, like any closing, like to help them out a little bit more? Like anything else you want to share?
I just really want your listeners to know that if you have a dream in your heart, if you have anything that you desire to achieve in your life, it is meant for you. You're meant for those things. You would not be given an idea. You wouldn't even have that arrive in your imagination if it wasn't something that you are meant for. And along with the placement of that desire inside of you comes the resources that you can tap into to bring that into fruition. And everything, is figure outable. And I kind of stole that term from Marie Forleo, but everything is, it is something that is within your power and your control. Nothing outside of you, nothing external to you can prevent you from achieving your dreams. You can do it. You have the power, all the tools, all the resources, everything is there. It's all there for you. And so whatever you want, go for it. Go for it. And use the tools. I provide lots of tools. You go to my website, read my books, download my app, get yourself into the correct mindset, because it's really about mindset. Some of you may have been told lies and told that you're not good enough, or that you don't deserve it, or you might feel like, who am I, to do this? Well, you are a beautiful human being that resides on this planet, and just because you are you doesn't mean you're not going to have to work hard. But, and when I say work hard, like, working on, working in a passionate way on something that, you love. It doesn't feel like hard work, but it doesn't mean that you're not going to have to take some action, and move toward those things. So, I guess that's where I really want to leave your listeners. I just want everybody to know that you're powerful. You're beyond powerful, and anything that you can imagine that you can be, do, or have, it is within you. And it's your duty. It's your duty as a human being, as a spiritual being in this planet, to share your gifts, because you have a unique gift. Everyone does. And so go be it, go do it.
I love that advice. I want to thank you so much for being a guest, and you have a great day.
Thanks, you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me.